Thank you also for joining me on an adventure. So tonight's concert is of music by Arnold Schoenberg, Alban, Berg, and Anton von Webern. And this is not what we might call easy listening. And some of you I know are familiar with his style, but I wanted to be a welcoming guide through his music. And so before I get started with the program proper, I actually wanted to do a little bit of an introduction to Schoenberg's style. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the beginning, the first part of one of his pieces from his Opus 23, the first piece in that opus. And I'm going to play it for you 5 times, and each time I'm going to give you something to think about as we go through it. So this first time, especially if this is unfamiliar music to you, I want you to just feel okay with letting it wash over you, being very weird and confusing, and letting that be okay. And so here's the first time through this. So the second time through, I want you to try and focus on the melody. Just like in more traditional sounding music, there's a melody that goes along on top of what you just heard. And like most melodies, it changes its notes and it has varied rhythms. So I want you to see if you can put your ears up on that top line all the way through. The third time through, I want you to start to notice how the harmony in this music, that the first time might have sounded like a wall of gray or brown colorlessness because there's so much changing all the time. You're starting to be able to hear differences between the chords that happen here. They're subtle, but you can hear the difference between something that sounds like this and something that sounds like this versus something that sounds like this. And that you can start to hear it not as a wall of gray, but as a constellation of different colors that change very rapidly. Here's third time through. So the fourth time through, I want you to be able to start to notice that this is actually made up of 3 melodies. And it's what we call a counterpoint. And it's very much like the kind of counterpoint we'd hear in a Bach fugue. Each of the voices has full independence from each other, and they move and push and pull against each other. They tug, they slide, and it's almost a little bit sexy, in Weimar Republic kind of way. All right, and the final time through, now that you've heard it 4 times, I want you to imagine that you're standing on top of a hill looking out over a river valley, and that valley and the river is the music. Now that you've heard this 4 times, you can start to anticipate what's going to happen next. And so what's happening now, you can see further into the future, and you're starting to have more of a perspective over the entire thing. So, and then you'll be waiting for later in the first half, I'll play the entire piece. So here's the 5th time through.